In this video, we're going to be looking at the key differences between S&box and Garry's mod. How are they different, and how are they the same? Let's find out. Let's start with the main menu. So this is currently the main menu for S&box. It keeps getting updated, so the next time you see it, it'll probably look different. I can look through the games, my local games, I can create a party, I can customize my character and the settings. These haven't been added yet. There's no server list yet, we don't know how that's gonna work. In Garry's mod, we have the standard Half-Life 2 style menu with our add-ons, games, and servers. I'm sure we're all very familiar with this. How do game modes and servers work in S&box? In Garry's mod, we have the big server list. I stopped refreshing it, but I'll refresh it again. So we have to find a server off this huge list and then join it and download all the add-ons. There's also peer-to-peer servers, but I haven't really played with that a whole lot. I don't know how good the peer-to-peer servers are, and I feel like most people don't actually use them other than to just play with your friends in S&box mode. In S&box, there's also going to be servers. We don't know how the server list thing is going to work yet, but right now everything is a peer-to-peer server. They just work seamlessly, and you don't have to download a bunch of add-ons or worry about errors if you miss some content. Not every game mode in S&box is going to need a dedicated server. For example, mini golf. You don't need a dedicated server for mini golf. This is just a fun game to play by yourself or with friends. Same thing with pool. I can't find that on the menu right now though. Currently, this menu only displays 20 items in each category, so it's kind of hard to find old game modes that you want to play. There's a good chance that they won't even work anyways. Some game modes can actually use custom networking, like Towns here. This is technically single player, so if I click find game, it won't actually do anything. I have to create a single player game. And then if I'm lucky, I can join the test server, with the custom networking. So S&box thinks that I'm playing single player right now, but there's actually custom networking in this game mode that allows me to join the big test server. This kind of stuff will be very useful for servers with a lot of players, like MMO game modes, which is something you really can't do in Garry's mod. I have a quote from Garry: "S&box is about different game modes, not servers with different configurations of add-ons." Speaking of add-ons, how do add-ons work in S&box? Well, not the same as Garry's mod. So in Garry's mod, servers are basically a base game mode and then a bunch of add-ons piled on top of that. That's not really going to be a thing in S&box. The S&box mode for Garry's mod will most likely have add-ons, so you'll be able to make add-ons for the S&box mode, but you probably won't be able to make add-ons for other game modes unless if they specifically allow it. Here's the spawn menu for S&box. This is all subject to change. Technically, you can make add-ons for this right now, but it won't work properly. You won't be able to share it. They haven't set up a system for add-ons yet. They only have a system for game modes. Let's take a quick look at this map construct since we're already on it. Here it is for Garry's mod. I think I have a weather mod installed right now, so the lighting looks different. I feel like the texture on that building is supposed to be different. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe I'm just misremembering it. Now that I'm here, this map's actually kind of not very good compared to the new S&box construct. It has all the rooms in it, but it just doesn't feel right after using S&box. Here's the latest version of construct on S&box. It's the same kind of feel, but it's just way better. And they're probably going to make this map even bigger, maybe turn it into a big town. I don't know yet. The next thing on my list is character customization. In Garry's mod, you can press C and change your player model. You have this big list of Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike models, plus whatever add-ons you have installed. And you can change the color of it. In S&box, it'll be in the main menu here. It hasn't been added yet, but you'll be able to change your character. I think you'll be able to change your outfit and your skin tone. You probably won't be able to pick different models. Speaking of models though, yes, this is most likely going to be the default character model. I know a lot of people don't like it. Well, too bad. It's fine, you'll get used to it. It works the same as in Garry's mod. So not every game mode has to use your set character model. Whoa. But they can if they want to. Servers can use whatever model they want. They can make custom ones. Eagle 1 is actually working on a sandbox game mode right now that features custom character models. I think that'll be the first game mode that'll feature actual custom models. So let's look at add-ons. Garry's mod uses the Steam Workshop here. We can browse add-ons here. I'm sure everybody knows how this works. In S&box though, there's the Sand Dev website. We don't know how this is going to work yet in-game for add-ons, but obviously you can see the maps and game modes in the list here. The developer tools in S&box are a lot nicer too. Everything is built in, and you don't need weird external programs to do basic things like make textures. We have Hammer, the material editor, and the model doc right here. The only thing you do need an external program for is code. Personally, I use Visual Studio, but you can use whatever IDE you want. If you wanted to upload an add-on in Garry's mod, you'd either have to use Steam CMD or some weird third-party workshop uploading tool to get it on the workshop. In S&box, you can just go to your downloads page for your add-on and just drag and drop the file here and it'll work. Alternatively, you can use GitHub or the Steam Workshop. The Steam Workshop isn't actually working yet, but it'll probably be an option later. How maps work in Garry's mod on S&box are basically the same, but they're created pretty differently behind the scenes. It's the same core concepts, but the exact methods are slightly different. In the end though, they function basically the same in-game. However, in S&box, game modes can choose to not allow you to select a map. They can use that if they have a specific map that they have to use every time, or if there's just no map at all. So how's coding different? Coding is pretty similar, except S&box uses C# instead of Lua. So personally, I really hate Lua. It's so annoying to work with. I've made a few add-ons before, and I just don't like how there's no brackets. That's like the biggest thing for me. You have to have end instead of brackets. I just think Lua is kind of bizarre. You get used to it after a while, but in my opinion, C# is just a lot easier to use. And in S&box, it's a lot more advanced. You can make basically anything you want with code. With the Garry's mod Lua, a lot of things were actually locked up and hard-coded, so you couldn't always do everything you wanted. You can basically make anything you want with S&box. An example of this is actually the Towns game mode here. So this is an infinitely generated procedural map. In Garry's mod, you wouldn't be able to do anything close to this. I think technically you can make meshes in runtime, but they're really limited. I don't exactly know all the limitations, but I know people haven't been able to do anything close to this yet. This terrain is completely procedurally generated and even has physics collisions too, so I can walk on it. I think maybe the most you could do in Garry's mod is make a small version of this that you can't even interact with. Well, that's it for now. Press the like button. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to make another video like this, probably a big Q&A video going over everybody's questions that they have. These were just some differences that I could think of right now. Like, comment, and subscribe.